Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase, and today we have some more Daleks, but these are Daleks not from Doctor Who. Sort of. Because you see, these are Daleks which appeared in Russell T Davies's drama It's a Sin. Fantastic drama, well worth checking out. I highly recommend you go and watch it. But for context, in this particular drama, the main character, or one of the main characters, gets a part in 80s Doctor Who, as the story is set in the 80s, in a story called Regression of the Daleks, which obviously, as many of people will know, is not an actual Dalek story. And it seems to be a sort of pastiche of Resurrection of the Daleks, where the Daleks attack the spaceship that Davros is on, the prison ship, or whatever it is. It's been a long time since it was in the episode. Either way, the Daleks using this are certainly interesting because for the time they are sort of slightly out of place in terms of their timeline, possibly the reason why it's called Regression of the Daleks. Side note, please, Russell, BBC, Big Finish, whoever, write it as a full story and release it to us in some shape or form. Personally, I think it would make a fantastic target novel, and if the Daleks are regressing, I would love to see the Doctor regress as well. I think actually somebody did do a custom cover, audio cover or something for it along those lines that I saw on Twitter. But I'm rambling, sorry, I've gone off track. But yes, either way, please release it as a proper story. But the Daleks scene in the episode, getting back to what I was talking about, we had the drone Daleks, were the death ones, and then there was a sort of resurrection grey leader. And I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure none of the Daleks used on this were originals. They were sort of fan recreations or replica props and things like that. Most notably, the death drones are much sort of taller and thinner. And I initially considered making a whole new Dalek and making it sort of the size of the prop and making them slightly squashed. But then I thought I would make them like this with sort of interchangeable parts, because the parts that I've used in these 3D printed ones that I've designed myself, I am going to put up on my Thingiverse for anyone else who wants to make them. So what we effectively have on the drones, starting off, actually no, I'm going to start on the Supreme or Leader or whatever you want to call it, because that's actually the simplest one. So overall, this is a gold Supreme from Day of the Daleks. I believe it's one of the original releases rather than the more recent release, because it's one of those things that have been sat at the bottom of my box of spares for ages, and it got all scuffed and dirtied and in parts. So I think I cobbled it together from various parts, put it all together, painted it up in this colour scheme. The only 3D printed bit on this is the base, which is sort of a two-tier one, slightly sort of it's not quite the same size and shape as the normal two-tier one that they usually have. And as you can see, I've done it on the other ones. I've put the little spheres on the bottom to make it sort of hover. So yeah, that's the only 3D printed part on this. Other than that, it's all pretty much as it is, a standard parts and pieces, and I think it has sort of worked well. It does look good. I think the reason perhaps that I redid this base, actually now I'm trying to remember because it's been a while since I've done this, since I recorded the video, was actually to make it ever so slightly taller so it didn't look quite as dwarfed by the two drones, because the two drones have actually quite a bit of height added to them. As I said, the actual ones used in the episode were more sort of squat and thinner. But what I've done for these ones is you've got a 3D printed base which has the lower lip, but then the upper lip is much thicker, which is obviously added to their height. It's as it is in the episode. But then also on the neck rings, the two neck rings from going from the bottom up are ones that I have 3D printed, but they're basically the same. They're basically the same size as the standard ones. But the reason I printed these was because there's no mesh texture on them, so I wanted them nice and smooth. But then the top one is more taller to give it sort of a little bit more height as well, which is why you can sort of see that you've got a slightly taller side to them compared to the middle one. But again, I think it looks good. I think it works very well. And again, the neck rings along with this base will be up on my Thingiverse. Other than that, I pretty much don't have anything else to say about these. They are a very, very nice piece. It would certainly be interesting to see this released as a set. I highly doubt it would ever actually happen, but you never know. Maybe if we one day get Regression of the Daleks as an actual story, it would be a fantastic idea. But one thing that I would love to see, this is, again, personal opinion, this isn't saying this is going to happen, this is purely my own opinion and speculation, I want to be very clear about that. I would love to see this set produced as a character options exclusive, with some of the proceeds going towards, say, AIDS charities and things like that, because It's a Sin is all to do with the sort of AIDS crisis in the 80s and the stigma surrounding it. Again, fantastic drama, highly recommend watching it, but I think it would be a fantastic thing to see, would be for this set to be produced as a very limited run, just a one-off run, like I said, a character exclusive, but then, you know, sell it at a slightly higher price, but have, you know, proceeds of the sales going to an AIDS charity. I think that would be a really, I think it would be a really nice thing to do. It would certainly please the fans to have something like this, but it would also be, I think it would also, it would be a good way of you know, of putting something towards charity while still sort of giving the fans something that's a bit more unique. You know, again, it's just, you know, it's a thought. I haven't put a lot of thought into it. It's actually come off the top of my head, but it could be a nice way of doing it because, as I said, I think people would like to have these as figures because they are something which is a bit different and a bit more unique. But, you know, if you can support charity in some way by doing it, I don't think that would be a bad thing at all by any means. But that brings to a close another custom figure showcase. As always, I hope you'll enjoy this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share. It really helps me out a lot. I'm in the description below for a link to my Patreon. My figure animation is still coming. There will be an update on it soon. I've just had a lot of I haven't had a lot of free time with work and personal commitments and other things like that, but I am still striving to provide some updates on it. But in the meantime, all your donations are greatly received in keeping the channel going, and for the minimal donation you can get your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you in another video very soon.